Hello everyone, welcome to Raaonline. So Acanthamoeba again, it's going to be a free living amoeba and it's going to cause two illness in human. One is going to be the corneal involvement, which is going to cause keratitis and also going to cause inflammation of brain and going to lead to something called granulomatous amoebic encephalitis. So the risk factor for these two conditions is going to be there are few things. So in case if it's going to be keratitis, the risk factor is going to be the corneal ulceration, which is due to the impending use of contact lens and the contamination of contact lens solution. And in case of granulomatous amoebic encephalitis, it's predominantly due to bathing in the river area where there is going to be an brackish water. So brackish water is nothing but the water where the particular river water is going to come in contact with the sea water, and there is going to be the change in the salinity in that particular area, and this particular Acanthamoeba is going to inhabit it in that particular area. So in case if you are going to have a bath in the particular brackish water area, like we are going to have an exposure to this particular organism to the nasal root, and there is going to be the olfactory involvement, and there is going to this particular organism is going to reach the brain and cause the granulomatous amoebic encephalitis. In case if it is going to be corneal involvement, predominantly it is due to the contamination of contact lens solution and the contact lens case. So this is the cause for the keratitis. And like it is called Acanthamoeba because like it is going to have something like an knob-like projection in their cytoplasm, which is called as acanthopodia. So which is predominantly seen in the trophocyte, and that particular thing is going to be called as acanthopodia. And there are 4 species which is going to affect the human. So in case if it is going to be Acanthamoeba, there are like 4 species which is called as Acanthamoeba astronixis and Acanthamoeba culbertsoni and Acanthamoeba castellani and Acanthamoeba polyphaga. So these 4 species is going to cause predominant human infection, and there are like more than 90 Acanthamoeba species, but only these 4 are the recognized human pathogen. So let us go into in brief about various clinical feature and lab diagnosis. And other important point which is pertaining to this particular infection is that this particular parasite can act as an Trojan horse, and it's going to harbor certain infection like Legionella. So when this particular organism is going to come inside, it's not only going to produce this kind of granulomatous amoebic encephalitis and keratitis, but also going to cause something like legionellosis, because this particular pathogen is going to take organism like Legionella along with this when it comes inside our body. So it's going to act as a Trojan horse. Again, like Acanthamoeba, it's going to be a free living amoeba and it's going to come under protozoology. So like before going into the various clinical feature and lab diagnosis, I just want to give a brief about this particular parasitology. So whenever like we are going to study about parasitology, we have something called protozoology and helminthology. So under protozoa, like we are going to learn about the entamoeba, free living amoeba, and we have the coccidian parasite, then we have the plasmodium, then we have the flagellate like hemoflagellate, example leishmania, then we have the vaginal flagellate trichomonas, and we have the intestinal flagellate like giardia, and we have the helminthology. Again under helminth, like we are going to study about cestode, trematode and nematode. So cestode is going to be our Taenia species, then we have our Echinococcus granulosus, Diphyllobothrium latum and Diplydium caninum. So those will come under the cestode. And we have the trematode. So under trematode, like we have various fluke starting from Cystosoma hematobium, Cystosoma mansoni, Cystosoma japonicum, and we have the lung fluke, that is the Paragonimus westermani, and we have the cancer causing fluke like Clonarchus sinensis and Apistarchus, and we also have the intestinal fluke like Phaeolopus buski and liver fluke like Phaeola hepatica. So those will be coming under the trematode. And we have our nematode. So under nematode, like we have the various filarial worms. So those are the filarial worms. Then we have the hookworm, strongyloids, ascaris. Then we have the Dracunculus medinensis, Trichuris trichura, Enterobius and Trichinella. So those comes under the nematode. So these are the various classifications that's pertaining to the parasitology. So here like we are going to deal with the one of the protozoa, that is a free living amoeba. So it comes under the protozoology under parasitology. So let us go into the source of infection. So as I have told before, this is going to be an inhabitant of brackish water. So here like you are able to see an exchange of two things. One is going to be the sea. This is going to be the sea water, and this is going to be the river water. So in between that, like it is going to have an area. So this is called as the brackish area. So here that particular river water and sea water is going to come in contact with each other, and there is going to be a change in the salinity. the salinity of sea water is different and the salinity of river water is going to be different. So when these both come in contact with each other, the salinity is going to be different, and this particular Acanthamoeba is going to survive in that particular ambience where there is going to be an brackish water, where there is going to be a change in salinity. This particular organism is going to live in that particular area. In case if you are going to have a bath in this particular area, like we have a high chance of infection or coming in contact with this particular pathogen. So most of the time it's going to be an opportunistic, but still, like, it is not safe to have a bath in the areas where like there is going to be a mixing of sea water and the river waters predominantly due to the change in the salinity.